I am a few weeks late, but it is what it is. Everybody's a Gemini, including you, no matter what your sun sign is. We are still in Gemini season. And so this is everybody's a Gemini, including you. Wisdom for all 12 signs. No matter what sign you are, Gemini is somewhere in your birth chart. So we're going to, basically, I'm going to run through all the signs, starting with Gemini, ending with Taurus. With the wisdom that is coming forth for your sun sign. So make sure you check out, not only your sun sign, but more specifically, probably your rising sign, if you know your rising sign. But if you don't, you can listen to the wisdom that comes forth for your sun sign for this Gemini season. So sun, moon, and rising. And I do apologize for being several weeks late, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? This Gemini season has had a Mercury retrograde. I am personally a Gemini moon. I'm a Virgo sun, Gemini moon. So, yeah, it's actually been a pretty good season for me. I am slow in getting here really because I've been enjoying my life. So anyway, but I wanted to honor this particular commitment. Well, I'm acting like this is a job. I actually enjoy doing this, but before I know it, it'll be Cancer season, and I don't want nobody to feel like you ain't do the Gemini video. So I've already shuffled cards. I'm gonna go through all 12 signs to give wisdom for this Gemini season, and then very soon I'm actually going to, and it might be up by the time you watch this, I don't know, but there will be a Patreon for extended insights and some other exciting things that I'm gonna be doing, that I'm gonna take a few of you along for the journey, those of you who want to ride with me, right? Let me get my situation straight. All right. First up, Gemini. To all my sun, moon, and rising sign Gemini, this is your season. Happy birthday season to the sun sign Geminis. I got a few Gemini friends. My dad's a Gemini. Like I said, I'm a Gemini moon. So this is actually an interesting season for you all. This is your time for a lot of self-reflection, but in a good way. I know a lot of times when we hear self-reflection, we're like, oh, look, here come the therapy, or here come the, all the deepness. It don't even have to be all of that, right? Your season, this Gemini season 2022, I feel like it's a time for all of the sun, moon, and rising sign Geminis, to be kind of clear about what you want. Just, it's just a reassessment time. Like, ask yourself, am I doing what I want to be doing? Am I living my life how I want to be living my life? Who I say I am, is that really who I am? Really, we all have to do that from time to time, right? Like, we say we're this, we say we're that. But sometimes we have to ask ourselves, are we really, are we still living by like an old idea of who we are, an old concept of who we are, right? And so if you have outgrown your britches, if you've outgrown who you were and you're ready for newness or change, to all of my sun, moon, and rising signs Gemini, it's time for you to assess who you are. And if you don't really, if your life don't match up with who you say you are, who you think you are, then this is really the perfect time to change, to work on that. The card that came up for you all is the Queen of Cups. This is very interesting because as Gemini, you're an air sign. We tend to think more when we hear Gemini, not necessarily cups. And really that's a misconception, because the cups represent the emotions and the feelings, right? And sometimes y'all can have the reputation of not being as emotional or not being as feeling. But really my experience has with Gemini is that y'all actually do express your emotions a lot. They may not come out as, like typical, like expression of emotion, but I feel like with that Queen of Cups coming up for you Geminis, this may, again, going back to what I was saying about the self-reflection and knowing who you are, the Queen of Cups represents also a time of going within and really asking yourself, are you emotionally fulfilled, and are you being emotionally fulfilled? And if not, you know, you can change that. You know, you can absolutely change that. And this may be a time for you Geminis to really begin to express, to communicate your emotions, because you may be feeling a lot. And again, emotions aren't, you know, just sad emotions or sentimental emotions, right? But just general emotions, feelings of joy, pleasure, happiness, you know, just feelings that you have, or even ideas that you have that you feel would be great ideas. This is your season to perhaps communicate those things that you have not shared in a while. The sun is in my face, so I can't even really see how I'm looking on here. I hope everything is straight. Whatever. All right, so who is next? Cancer. To all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Cancers for this Gemini season. Yes, coming in a few weeks late, but it's all good. Very soon I will have up a Patreon for some extended bonus material and some amazing things that are about to go down. So for all of my Cancers, make sure you stay tuned for that. But this Gemini season, for all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Cancers, could quite possibly be a very spiritual time for you, right? This is a time for you all to communicate more clearly with spirit, you know, however you do that, whether it's in a religious context, whether it's spirituality, whether, you know, it's your ancestors, or, you know, just your higher self, however you define that. You know, I don't know who all is watching, but this Gemini season, because Gemini is the sign that really does represent communication and self-expression, right? But it is happening for you, Cancer. Gemini can, especially if you're a Cancer rising, but even if you're a Cancer sun or moon, is really touching on an area of life that deals with spirituality and having faith. Having faith. For many of you Cancers, this may be the time for you to begin to speak the things that you have faith in. You know, like what is the Bible says, like speaking those things that are not as though they were, right? Your words could really be magical right now when they are combined with faith, when you are communicating your deepest desires or fantasies or wishes that perhaps require more than your own mind, your own intellect, your own hands can do. Like, this is the time to call on those spiritual forces that are here to assist you. The card that came up for you, though, is the Five of Swords. This is very interesting because the Five of Swords is a winning at all costs. Like, the Five of Swords is like tension, competition, strife even. So some of you want to be mindful that you are not working against yourself, right? Sometimes when we're going for our dreams or we're going for things that we want, it's easy to, no, maybe it's not easy to, but some people lean more towards the being ultra competitive or fighting for it and all of that kind of stuff. But to get the Five of Swords for you all, it's like, especially because, you know, this Gemini season, I said it's time for y'all to delve into the spiritual aspect and ask for that spiritual help and guidance. So if there's a way that you're trying to accomplish something that actually kind of gets you amped up, like, yeah, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna win, but it could be hurtful to other people, or it could be hurtful to you in the long run, or the reward does not justify the cost you paid, you know, or, you know, again, like winning at all costs. Like, sometimes you can win a thing or accomplish a thing, but then it's like, but look at everything I lost in the process of, you know, so it might not be worth it. So again, lean more, to all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Cancers, lean more on your spiritual help rather than your just, I'm gonna make it happen myself kind of help, if that makes sense. I hope it does, because if it doesn't, that's all I got for you. Who is next? Leo, 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 Leo. To all my sun, moon, and rising sign Leos, we are in Gemini season, and this is the wisdom that has come forth for you. Yeah, I know it's a little late, a couple of weeks into Gemini season already, but it is what it is. And so anyway, so Leo, during Gemini season, this is Gemini season likes Leos, right? It's y'all's it's what we call in astrology. Y'all can be like a sextile sign. Y'all like a, you know, companion sign in a way. So this is a really good time for you all to really begin to connect with your network. Simply put, I was trying to find better words, but that's really what it is. To really connect with your network, you may find that there are some resources that you have been needing or wanting, that are, if you just phone a friend, right? If you just phone a friend or a friend of a friend, right? Your expanded network, I feel, is going to be very helpful to all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Leos right now. So think about, you know, you may not have all of the connections, but you may know people who do, right? Or you may not know all of the answers, but you know people who do, right? So this is a really good time where you may find, some of you, I even feel like some of you may even find love in your extended network or in your expanded network or a friend of a friend. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Disclaimer, read below. There is a disclaimer below. So, but you know, this may be a good time for that, for some of you to really make better use of your network and or your expanded network, because there may be something there that you don't know if you keep yourself closed off. So this isn't really a time for you to keep yourself closed off, Leo. Ooh, good. Why everybody, I've been giving these words of wisdom, Neon's cards be looking like, Anyway, y'all got the Tower. Y'all got the Tower. How I would connect that to what I was just talking about, though, because the Tower, I mean, look at it. I mean, it's not really necessarily the happiest card in the deck, but it can be helpful because sometimes we build up these walls, we build up these towers, we build up these belief systems, we build up these beliefs about what life is, what love is, what friendships are, and all those sorts of things. And then these, you know, sometimes those walls have to come tumbling down. And when the Tower appears, it's like the universe is like, okay, that's enough. You know, that's enough, right? And so if there are things that you know that you need to release, if there are self-limiting beliefs that are just not serving you and they're keeping you stuck in a tower, right? And if you feel like your some of you may feel that this Gemini season, your towers, your beliefs, your everything that you have perhaps even built your life around, you know, there may be some shakiness there. But again, perhaps it is the universe's way of saying, go beyond what you know, go beyond these, you know, your tight confines, the walls that you built for yourself, the self-limiting beliefs, or even the beliefs that once served you, but maybe they don't serve you anymore, right? So, but when you feel that shaking, don't resist it. The Tower is a very powerful card. When that card appears, it's like you might as well not even try to resist it. You know, go with the flow of what perhaps may be removed from your life. Even if it's your own habits, even if it's your own way of doing things. If that way isn't working anymore, and actually every time you do it, you actually make things worse and worse and worse, release it. Try something different. Gemini season is a really good time to try something different. And even if everything doesn't work, something will work that will send you on the path that you need to be on. All right. So yes, that's it, Leos. Now, Leos, I will be very soon, and maybe when this video is up, but I don't know. My Patreon will be up for additional insights and some other fun stuff that I plan on sharing. So stay tuned for that. All right. So who's next? Virgo. Hey, Gemini season, Virgo. Hey Virgo, during Gemini season, maybe that's the best way to say it. To all my sun, moon, and rising sign, Virgos, this Gemini season is the season to get out of your head. It's to get out of your head. Now, both Gemini and Virgo love the mental games. They, it's ruled by the planet Mercury, which is all about, the mind, the thoughts, your words, your intellect, all of that sort of stuff. So for me to say get out of your head, why am I saying that? Because we're just coming out of a Mercury retrograde. Yeah, this video is a few weeks late. You know what I'm saying? Mercury's going direct now. But Gemini seasons, I think we started Gemini season with the Mercury retrograde, or it was already retrograde, right? So when that happens, it's like everything you thought, everything that, your way of thinking, it's like the Mercury retrograde was like, let's slow down, let's go back, let's revisit some of those thoughts, let's revisit some of those beliefs, let's check in, are the words you're saying lining up with the truest, not just the thoughts in your mind, but the highest ideals, the highest ways of thinking, right? And so this Gemini season for Virgo is a time of learning how to think differently, how to view the world differently, how to not just see it from how perhaps you have just saw it in the past, right? It's a time for for thinking differently and for being different in how you choose to take action, and this is similar to what I just told Leo a minute ago, but there's something present for Leos and Virgos right now during this Gemini season that is really about, as my good friend Mama J would say, she says, she has this saying where she says, trying on lives. What does that mean? Like, just try something different, see if you like it, see what works, what doesn't work. You're trying, try on lives like people try on costumes, basically. It's not about being fake, but it is about, perhaps doing things a little bit differently. And if you think about the symbol for Gemini, it's like the two faces, right? Or the twins, right? So everything can't always be just one side. That's what Gemini season is teaching Virgo. Everything isn't one, so your symbol, Virgo, is the Virgin, just, her pure ideas, the Virgin, it represents like purity or singularness of thought. But Gemini season is always saying, but there's two ways of looking at a thing. There are two ways of doing a thing. There are not always these absolutes. And if you're trying to make everything an absolute, you can miss out on some wonderful, great things in life, especially in your career. Because if you're a rising sign Virgo, then Gemini is in your house of careers. And so this is really a time to look at how you go about doing business. The card that has come up for Virgo this Gemini season is the Page of Cups. Which, sometimes can mean pregnancy and, some of y'all might want. I'm a Virgo, and that's not on my wish list right now, but I'm sure there might be some Virgos out there where that's on their wish list. But the Page of Cups also just represents the newness of ideas, the newness of things that are fun and pleasurable, and even creative ideas. This may be a great time for you to give birth to new creative ideas, especially in your career. Because again, like I said, it's happening in this, if you're a rising Virgo. But in general for Virgos, it's a really good time to look at your career, put an emphasis on that area of your life. And so, the Page of Cups is the newness in the area of your career life, your legacy, your long-term goals, all of that kind of stuff. It's time to add some new, fresh energy, because the Page of Cups is new, fresh energy, especially if you've been doing something for too long that you don't like, you don't love, it's boring, it's just a job, it's just a paycheck. Maybe, I'm not saying quit your job, but maybe, find a new hobby, do something that, brings that pleasure back into your life, or that fun into your life. So anyway, who is next? Libra, to all my sun, moon, and rising sign, Libra, this Gemini season. Libras, y'all got any travel plans? If so, can I come? This is Gemini season is in general, is a good time to think about travel, but also about just self-expansion as a whole, self-expression and self-expansion. Both of those is a really good time for you Libras to, I just keep getting this feeling for almost every sign I've gone through, so I will share this with you too. Gemini season is offering you the opportunity to not be stuck in a box, to not be limited in how you think and how you move and how you function in life, and and how you dream. And if you've been, if you think about the symbol of Gemini, it's the twins, right? And so there's always another way of looking at a thing, or another way of living your life, another way of how you can expand. Or you may think the only way for you to expand, for example, is to get a new job, but it could just mean it's time for you to travel. Oh, it's a pretty butterfly. I don't know if y'all can see it. Did it? I can't see my screen too well. So anyway, whatever I was saying right then, it must have been the truth. Anyway, so, or if you've been thinking the only way to expand is to go to school, or, to do this, whatever it is, just, it could be you just need to read some more books. It could just be, I don't know. I just feel like for Libras, y'all just need to do something different. Just find a way to add greater value to who you are by expanding who you are. The card that has come up for you, is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is like a fresh motivation. If you look at it, it's like the hand of God. I don't know. Something coming out of the clouds, a hand coming out of the clouds with a wand, a big stick. And the wands represent, motivation and drive and new inspiration, and like that spark of excitement when you're ready to do something new, right? So you don't have to have all of the answers. The Ace of Wands is not about having all of the answers, having everything figured out. It is, though, about having the courage to expand yourself and having the courage to try something new in your life. Okay, who is next? Scorpio. Yes, Scorpio. To all my sun, moon, and rising signs, Scorpio, this Gemini season. Yeah, I know I'm a few weeks late. Anyway, this Gemini season for all of my sun, moon, and rising signs, Scorpios, it's interesting, especially for the rising signs. Gemini is, I believe, your 8th house, which Scorpio does like the 8th house. I mean, the 8th house is everything that Scorpio is all about, like the mystery and the secretiveness and the manipulation. Well, I mean, that is there, but just the going deep within. This is a really, Gemini season is challenging Scorpios to look at any ways that you have been behaving superficially. Any areas where you have been just going along to get along, where you perhaps aren't as revealing about who you truly are, what you truly want, and all of those sorts of things, because either you don't realize those feelings are deep down in there, or I don't know, maybe you've just been used to just performing, right, in a way. And so this Gemini season is like, no, this may be the time for you to begin to communicate those deepest, most intimate desires, even if you're only communicating it with yourself and being honest with yourself about who you truly are. This is also a good time for Scorpios to really, even, I'm really trying to be so like basic in general, but sometimes things really are basic in general. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to sound like, a magazine horoscope. But really, this Gemini season for you Scorpios is so almost typical to me what those two mean. Basically, if there's because the 8th house and Scorpio deal with loans and other people's money and, you know, all that sort of thing, or money that is owed to you or money you owe to other people. This may be a good time for you to be able to begin to communicate about that. You know what I mean? To clear some debts up and be honest about it, be transparent about it, and not be superficial and try to act like those situations aren't going on, right? But outside of money, it could just be anything that, good or bad. I don't mean to sound super deep, but where it's like you've been superficial long enough, and now you want to express yourself in a way that is more deep to you. So the card that came up for you is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is all about surrender. It is all about, in a way, like trusting God, if you will. It's about being suspended, if you will. Like, Gemini season for you Scorpios may feel like you're just kind of in a place, not a bad place, not like, ooh, it's so great, but not like it's bad. It's just like, oh, okay, this is just where I am right now. So in this time, Scorpio, handle all of the things that have been lingering too long. And if it's something you don't know how to handle, or that's too big for you to handle, that's what the Hangman is saying. The Hangman is a kind of trust God scenario. Pray about it. I mean, if you're a praying person, you know, however you pray, however you connect spiritually, you know, have those kind of conversations for things, areas of your life where you have been living in a way that's not as authentic as you like. And one thing I know about that Scorpio energy, at the end of the day, y'all want to be true to you. You want to be authentic. And anything that holds you from that for too long, it could get ugly, right? So yeah, be honest about who you are, what you want, and communicate that to anyone who needs to know. All right, so who is next? Sagittarius. Sag. To all of my sun, moon, and rising signs, Sagittarius, this Gemini season. Gemini is your opposite sign, right? So y'all are like the flip side of the coin. So sometimes when there's an opposite sign, with the opposite sign, sometimes it can be very, very helpful, and sometimes it can be a tense energy. You know, it's like, you know, because y'all almost the same, but y'all different, you know. But the beautiful thing about opposite signs is that they show you where you could do better, or if there's an area of your life where you might be stumbling or struggling or just whatever. It's usually, if you look at how your opposite sign might handle that situation, that might be where you find the answer. So to all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Sagittarius, think about that in terms of specifically your relationships. Any of your one-to-one relationships, whether it's a husband, wife, spouse scenario, romantic relationship, business partnership, friendships, look at how you are communicating to your friends or to your partners and those who actually count on you. And I feel like some of you Sag, is not all, but some of you need to be reminded that people do count on you. People do need you. People do value you. So how are you showing up in those relationships? And are you giving more of yourself than you should? Are you taking more than you should? You know, like kind of reflect on that. And if there's anything you want to change, because Gemini is all about communication, but communication is more than just talking. So sometimes your communication is how you're showing up, right? So how are you showing up in your relationships? If they good, they good. If you showing up good and you like the results, then, you know, keep on doing it. If not, you know, I'm going to tell you like what I just told Scorpio a minute ago. If there's a way where you've been playing small, if there's a way where you're not showing up as authentically as you could, or for Sag, because this is your opposite sign. some of you might be showing up as too much the most, okay? And we love, okay, I ain't telling you to dim your light. I'm just saying sometimes it's just the most. It's just the most. And are you making it hard for people to love you? Are you making it hard for you know, those that you're in relationship with, partnership with, to, because I feel like some of you have people who want to love you, who want to, who maybe even want to partner with you, but, and again, I'm not telling you to dim your light. It's not about that, but you could be so much about trying to show who you are, trying to prove your point, trying to, you know, be the voice of truth and how things should be, that you're not hearing what the other person is saying. So this may be a good time for you to work on that. The card that came up for you is the Knight of Swords. And look at that. It's a fast moving energy. And I kind of feel like what I'm feeling, as I can't see myself, but I can see the reflection of this card very well. But the Knight of Swords, fast moving energy, but it's sometimes the Knight of Swords is too brash, too quick to say something, too quick to snap, too quick to jump in and help a situation, just too quick. And it's like, just wait, you know, just wait. Everything is not a battle. You're not always having to go to war. You can speak your truth in love. You don't necessarily have to cut anybody down. And I think sometimes for Sag, you think it has to be one or the other. Like you're speaking your truth and people should just understand, or you're not being heard, right? And so sometimes you may feel like because you're not being heard that you just pop off, right? But there can be a middle ground. There is a middle ground. And that's what Gemini season is teaching you. I mean, even if you look at Gemini, it's the twins, right? So you don't have to be all or the other, all one or all the other, all the happy face or all the anger, you know what I mean? You can balance that well. And when you do, it can make your relationship sweeter or easier to flow with. And again, it's not about compromising who you are, even your truth. It's about how you communicate it is everything. All right. So anywho, I don't know if I told everybody, I keep forgetting to say it, but very soon, perhaps on this video, but I'm not sure. I will have a Patreon up with extended insights, as well as some new fabulous stuff that I'm excited about sharing. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So who is next? Who we got? We got Capricorn. To all my sun, moon, and rising signs, Capricorn, this Gemini season. This is Capricorn. This Gemini season is a time for you. I don't know, I just keep hearing the word health, and I know that if you're a rising sign Capricorn, then where Gemini is for you is in the house in astrology that deals with your health and well-being. So this could be a really good time for you all to like kind of reevaluate your health routine. And actually, with it being Gemini season, some of you Capricorns may be so like a very much stickler about, you know, perhaps how you go about your health and wellness, your habits for health and wellness, your exercise routine, if you know, if that's what you do, or even just your routines in general, your schedule, what you do in the morning, what you do at work, with the time you check your email, and Gemini season is saying, you don't even have to be that serious all the time. You can add some variation to your schedule. And in adding some variation to your schedule, you might find that the areas of your life that you thought you had to work so hard to improve, or work so hard to make better, or work so hard in order to get the income you wanted, you might find that in kind of relaxing a bit, dropping the reins, you know, a little bit, that some things can flow to you more easily. Gemini season is reminding you, Capricorn, that it is okay to have fun. It is okay to live a little bit, right? And in living a little bit, it could solve some long-standing problems in your life. You have the card that came up for you, Capricorn, is the Empress. And the Empress is, I like the Empress because she represents fertility and abundance and prosperity. Somebody else got like kind of a pregnancy card earlier, but so she could represent pregnancy, but just fertility and abundance and luxury and wealth and prosperity, and just the beauty of life. You see, I don't know if you can see, that's the symbol for the planet Venus, which is all about beauty and love and attraction. And some of you just really need to get your Empress on, or your, you know, if you're a guy, well, I won't say the Emperor because there is an Emperor card in the deck, but you know what I mean. Like, get your luxury on, spend a little bit of money, you know, release a little bit of money and watch it come back to you multiplied. Like, don't be so tight with everything this Gemini season, Capricorn. Live a little, because that may be the very thing that ends up actually saving you, that ends up saving you your health, improving your health, improving your relationships, improving your work-life balance, right? So just give it a try. I mean, just give it a try. And that's all. Who's next? Aquarius. To all my sun, moon, and rising sign Aquarians, this Gemini season, happy Gemini season to all of my Aquarians. This is a time for you. It's funny how these, each sign is kind of stacking. It's kind of like feeding into each other, because the sign just before you, Capricorn, I just told them to live a little, right? And I'm gonna tell you that too, but I feel like it's really time for you all, Aquarians, to really play a little bit harder, love a little bit harder, enjoy life a little bit more, you know, take a gamble at something. I mean, if you ain't got a problem, play the lottery. Go to Vegas, right? Check out my disclaimer below. Ain't nobody telling y'all to do nothing crazy. But anyway, but yeah, to love a little bit more and to play a little bit more and allow more of your childlike self to show up in all that you do, and to be a bit more creative. If there's something that you've been doing for a while and you've been doing it the same way, you know, which is hard to believe for an Aquarius because y'all tend to switch things up a little bit. But if there's something that's been kind of stagnant or just kind of doing the same thing all the time, Gemini season is saying to you, Aquarius, like, you know, jazz it up a bit, do a little something different, do that same thing that you always do, but just in a more fun and creative way. You know, even talk to children, you know, if you have children or if there's children in your life, you know, run some of your ideas by them, and just, you know, because children don't have limits. They don't think, you know, in terms of, well, we could do this, but we can't do that, but we can't, you know, they don't care. When you ask a child to be creative, they just come up with the most fantastical, it sounds like a Hollywood movie, right? So, you know, if you talk with children right now, some of them perhaps could give you some insight on how to do some things, how to not be so much of a grown-up, right, all the time, and how to do some things in a bit of a different way. So for Aquarius, the card that has come up for you is the Nine of Pentacles, and this is, I really like this card, because wow, this really is similar to the Capricorns who came before y'all. But the Nine of Pentacles is a card of enjoying life, especially enjoying the life that you work so hard to build. The Nine of Pentacles is like, well, you earn that money. Why are you not using it? Why do you not have fun with it? You know, you don't have to blow it all, but I mean, why aren't you enjoying the fruit of your labor? The Nine of Pentacles gives you permission to take a day off, even to, if you built a nice home, to take a moment to enjoy your home. You know, if there's something pleasurable or fun you want to do, the Nine of Pentacles is like, well, you know, do it. That's what you work so hard for, right? The Nine of Pentacles is reminding you to enjoy the life that you have built. And if you don't like the life that you have built, what is it? If you don't like the bed you made and you got to lie in it anyway, what's the best way you can enjoy it? What changes can you make to make it more fun and more rewarding? Maybe fun isn't just the word I'm looking for, but actually rewarding, a life that you can be proud of, right? So yeah, that's what Gemini season is reminding all of my Aquarians. Very soon, if not now with this video, but very soon I will have my Patreon up for extended insights and some other exciting things that I'm about to share with the world. So make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, so who is next? We have Pisces. So all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Pisces this Gemini season. Shout out to you all. This is really a good time. Let's see. I see. Yeah, this is a good time for all of the sun, moon, and rising sign Pisces this Gemini season. I almost hate saying this because y'all typically don't need help with this. I mean, at least from my perspective, y'all might beg to differ, but it's okay to be a little wishy-washy. Now I know y'all already be here, there, and everywhere. I'm a Virgo, so that's how it looks to us sometimes. I love y'all though, but but Gemini season actually is like giving you permission to explore everything, right? If you think about your sign Pisces, it's the two fish, one swimming this way, one swimming that way, right? And then you think about Gemini season is the twins. It's two people. One looks happier, one looks a little less happy, right? But it's just the dark and the light side of all of us, right? That we all have. And so again, those two signs together, Gemini and then your sign Pisces, that's a lot going on. That's a lot of, I could go left, I could go right. Could go right, could go left, could go up, could go down, right? So this might be a good time for you to really explore all ideas that's on the table. And particularly, especially for the rising sign Pisces, particularly in terms of your house and home, this may be a good time. I'm not saying to move, but this could be a good time to at least begin to look at all of the places where you say you want to live, or all of the places, where you want to kind of lay down roots, or put down roots, to begin to visit those places. Now, it's not necessarily, I'm not saying necessarily it's the time to make a decision unless you feel it's right, but it could be a good time to allow yourself to not have to make a decision, just to explore all of the opportunities that are available. And the card that came up for you is the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands really is kind of like that. The wands represent that motivation, that drive, and to have the knight, I mean, he's on his horse, he's going for it, right? He's going for it. He's not sitting still, he's not just twiddling his thumbs, and he's thinking about it. He's seeing the world, he's finding out, what is out there for him, right? On that particular card, he's actually exerting energy. So this is, I know that your sign Pisces sometimes can be more wishy-washy because you're in the dream state and the imaginative state, but with it being Gemini season and with you getting the Knight of Wands, this could be a good time for you to again actually put yourself out there. Actually, take people up on their offers, or if you see that there's an opportunity, go to the interest meeting. If there's something new you want to do in your home, give it a try. Some new paint you want to put up, let's go get the samples, and see which ones you like the best. Again, if a commitment right now feels too strongly, maybe you can make the commitment once we get into Cancer season, which is, a fellow water sign like you. So, by the end of June, perhaps maybe you can begin to make those choices. But right now is really the time to kind of just see what's out there, and don't just be in your head and dreamy about it, but actually take action towards it. All right. So who is next? We have Aries. Shout out to Aries this Pisces season. So to all my sun, moon, and rising sign Aries, this Gemini season, I hope that's what I said. I hope Gemini season. Say what you want. Aries, say what you want. Now, I gotta preface this because some of y'all be, well, I don't know. Let me not try to direct y'all on how to be a better Aries, because that's y'all's energy. So sometimes your energy is more fiery, and Gemini is supportive of that. So if there's an area of your life that you do need to stand up for yourself, that you do need to speak up, that you do need to speak more clearly, then do that. But the power of your words, the power, you know, Gemini rules words in the intellect and the mind, right? It could be a wordsmith if it, you know, it's giving you that power. So use your words in an effective way to express yourself, to truly express yourself. And if you need to take a moment, if you need a journal, I feel like some of you actually need to write down what you want to say, or at least write down your feelings about things and then express them. Then definitely do that. I feel like some of you too, this is a good time for you to come up with ideas. Use your brain. Okay, you're smart people. Use your brain to come up with new ideas, or to see new ideas and opportunities that work better for you, in your life. And don't be afraid of saying what you want. I think sometimes Aries people with a lot of Aries placements, or just the energy of Aries in general, can be explosive because you feel something within that says that a change needs to happen, or action needs to be, you know, somebody needs to take action, but you may not always be fully clear on, you know, what that means for you and what you get out of that deal, right? And what, you know, what is best for you. And so when you get explosive, it's because, you know, you may not feel that others are pouring into you as you have poured into them. But so that's why I'm saying some of you actually need to journal either what you want to say to people, or actually just journal what it is that you actually want. Because some of you may not be fully clear on what you want, but you may have a lot of energy to try to accomplish certain things, right? So it's like you have all this pent up energy, but you're also not being clear about how to direct that energy. So take some time to just write it out. Gemini season is a perfect time for writing, getting thoughts on paper. Or what I do sometimes I'll turn on a voice recorder and just talk, right? So sidebar, some of you may know I have a thing called Sacred Ramblings. I may make one available. It's going to be a whole album that's coming out soon. And also as a sidebar while I'm talking, if you skipped ahead, you might not know that I will soon have my Patreon up with extended insights, as well as some other amazing things that are launching soon, such as my Sacred Ramblings. And so definitely stay tuned for that. But what am I saying? So yes, so record yourselves, you know, just talking and getting it out and expressing your feelings, or expressing your desires, or what it is that, you know, you want in your life, so that even if it's not a matter of you communicating it to someone else, now you're clear, and now you can actually direct that powerful Aries energy in a very focused and effective way. Everybody's cards, except for like, I forgot who it was. There was a few signs that got some nice, sweet cards, but for the most part, it's been a lot of harsh cards that's coming up, and yours is the Devil. Y'all got the Devil card. I'm laughing. I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing because I don't know. It's just like, ooh. Anyway, after all my words of encouragement and journal, and then he come. Anyway, the Devil card, though, the Devil is nothing to be scared of. The Devil is just all of those things, all of those attachments, all of those things that you have made yourself believe that you have to be attached to, that you have to do. All of these things, even addictions, like the Devil card, if you look it up, it'll say, you know, can connect to like people, you know, your addictions, right? So it's like the things that you think you need, whether it's like a substance abuse addiction or just in, you know, thinking that you need a certain amount of money or you need the support of certain people. And because you believe that you are nothing without that thing, or that it could even be a belief, something you grew up with, your parents taught you, and you're still living by that self-limiting belief. And that self-limiting belief is like the devil in your life. It's like holding you hostage. But the thing about the devil card, I don't know how well you can see it. Like, look at these people in here. Look at how big the chains are around their neck. They could take it off. The things that you think that you need that are holding you back, that are holding you down, that are slowing you up, that are, you know, not allowing you to prosper as much as you want to prosper, to go as far as you want to go. And a lot of times it's really just your beliefs. It's just your beliefs. Let go of that stuff. You know, nobody else is doing it to you. You are doing it to yourself. You can free yourself. And so this Gemini season, get your freedom papers. Get your freedom papers from, you know, anything that is holding you down, you know, holding you back. And a lot of times, if you think it's people that's doing it, a lot of times it's because you allowed them to, and maybe you haven't fully expressed. Some of you maybe have expressed your desires or expressed your truth, but you still accept less than. Again, that's still a problem you created, and you can free yourself from that. Nobody's going to believe your words if you have a moment, an explosive moment, you say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, and then tomorrow you're still accepting the old, right? So nobody's going to believe you. You know, you think nobody's listening. They are. But they also know tomorrow you're going to change. You're going to be back to doing everything, right? So again, what they say in the church, don't let the devil use you. Anyway, moving on. Who is next? Bringing up the rear, Taurus. Shout out to all of the sun, moon, and rising sign Taurus. This Gemini season, last season was your season. So I hope all of you sun sign Taurians had a wonderful birthday. But now we're in the next sign. We're in Gemini, and Gemini is in your birth chart. And it does affect your life. So what does Gemini have for sun, moon, and rising sign Taurus? This is really Gemini season. If you think about the symbol for Gemini, it's the twins, right? It's the happy face, the sad face, or the light and the dark, you know, and neither one is better than the other. You know, we all exist in both in a way, right? So there's always a part of us that is not as visible, right? That's the shadow side, not necessarily the bad side, it's just the shadow side. And then there's the part of us that is more visible and more superficial or more readily accessible. And I feel like for Taurus, especially the rising sign Taurus, because Gemini is ruling a place in your chart that deals with how you focus on your goals and how the value you add and the money you bring. And this is a good time for you Taurians to perhaps, if you've been doing things always just one way or only cultivating one side of you, but not cultivating the other side, or afraid to look at your shadow side, or afraid to even try something that's not tried and true, this Gemini season is all about change. You know what I mean? So it's all about, you know, doing things a different way sometimes, not always doing things the stuck and stagnant. I'm saying stuck and stagnant, but you don't have to be stuck and stagnant, but not always doing things, you know, in the same exact way every single time. Like do something. And I would say try to do something in a different way in an area of your life where you feel like you can do that. You know what I mean? Like it's not the most important thing in your life, right? Even though Gemini, again, for the rising sign, is happening in the area of work and goals and how you make your money. But, you know, perhaps it could be you know, driving to work a different way. You ain't got to take the same road every single time, right? Or, you know, even if there's a project at your job where where you don't step up to do this something different or a different kind of project, you always stick with the same, you know, you always raise your hand to take responsibility in one area, but you never try these other things. Perhaps try those other things, you know, show your boss or your company that you're versatile, you know, and that actually can increase the money that flows to you. So the card that came up for you is the Lovers, the Lovers. And obviously, I mean, the Lovers, you know, yes, there's some, could be a great time also for you to focus in on your love relationships, whether it's romantic or just, you know, whoever you are in relationship with, where it's like you and another person. But the Lovers also appears when it's a time to make, when choices become very, very important. And some of you may have some opportunities come your way, and you may be afraid to take them because they're a little bit different than what you're used to. Again, like going back to the project at work, you're used to doing things, you know, in this department, but not in that department, or, you know, you're stuck on what you know is tried and true and effective, and that's going to make, you know, that is proven that it can make you money and you can pay your bills with it. But, you know, an opportunity may come your way where you have to make a choice. And if the pros and cons are for the most part favorable, why not try something new? That's what Gemini is saying to you. Why do things the same way all the time? Your biggest opportunity, your biggest moneymaker, your biggest whatever could come from you taking a chance on doing things a little bit differently. Yeah, so that is it for everybody's a Gemini, including you. Like I said at the beginning, I meant to say it during every sign, but I don't think I did. I will soon have my Patreon up with some extended insights and some other amazing things that I'm working on that will be released very soon. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And until we speak again, as always, I'm wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching. Love y'all. Bye.